ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुविक्नन्द्ये भूरिदा जना. So this is a sloka which is the beginning of Bhagavata. See, our scriptures, there is always a tradition to begin with the sloka that's called Mangala Achar. Mangala Achar, an auspicious beginning. So this is the sloka which Master Moshe again used the same sloka for beginning. उन्होंने कथामृत जो प्रारंभ के लिए he started using the same sloka. So it a very beautiful sloka. It says your अमृत कथा, कथामृत. संसार में जले में जो जीव का एक एलिक्स की तरह. It's like amrita for those who are burnt in this fire of samsara, tapta जीवनम. Then कवि मुनिया इसके बारे में बहुत कुछ अच्छा कहा. They have spoken, sung the praise of this beautiful scripture, and it removes all kalmasha, all sins, all everything that is negative and all. Then सुनने मात्र मंगल है, श्रवण मंगल. Even just if you listen to it, it brings so much of auspiciousness, so much good, so much wonderful things will happen just by listening. Shravana Mangal. Srimadatata. It will bring Sri, it will bring wealth, not necessarily wealth of money and goods and all that. It will be a tremendous wealth of a very rare nature that will change your life, change your character. आपका जीवन में ऐसा कुछ ला देगा, आप जीवन भर जाएगा. See, ultimately, it's not money, it's not goods, it's not the clothes or cars. It's not they give. You can have the simplest of life and yet be the happiest person. You can have all the wealth in the world and be the most unhappy person. Now, that's what we see. So much of corporate wars and brothers fighting with each with 1 lakh crores, fighting endlessly in the court. क्यों है? हाँ? आप उनका सारा परिवार जिंदगी भर सिर्फ पैसे ही खा लेंगे, फिर भी कुछ खत्म करना संभव नहीं है. So much money. What will they do? Still, ना उसका खत्म कर दूंगा, वो भी मेरा चाहिए. So somehow people keep on endlessly. So, but this will bring a different kind of wealth. The wealth that will really nourish you, enrich you, make you feel prosperous, make you feel happy, make you feel complete in every sense. So that gives a new kind of a wealth. And then, so still there is a question then why people are not taking to it in large numbers. अभी भी मान लीजिए एक कथामृत मानने वाला, ये रामकृष्ण शारदा विवेकानंद, ये धारा में, ये प्रवाह में, ये परंपरा में आने वाला संख्या बहुत कम है. मैं तो बताता हूँ, दिल्ली में मैं 16 साल रहा. 16 साल जितने लोग आए, ये आप पूरा गिनो, फिर भी जो राजा साम सत्संग में तो साल में एक बार आयोजन करते हैं, उससे भी कम होगा. So, but why it is not like that? And they say it's because it's only जो जन्म जन्म में बहुत ही तपस्या किया, जिसकी वजह से उनका जीवन में बहुत कुछ अर्जन किया, पुण्य अर्जन किया. They are only those who have done tremendous amount of that kind of sadhana, etc. in their earlier lives. Because of that, they come to this tradition. मान लीजिए, क्योंकि आप देखेंगे एक परंपरा में it's very different from what you normally hear in every place. हाँ जहाँ भी जाओ यहाँ कुछ कर दो, यहाँ कुछ कर दो, आपको ये मिल जाएगा, ये मिल जाएगा, ये तो दैट इज वेयर पीपल आर रशिंग. You know, there's somewhere around in Gurgaon, someone guru or somebody is there, is passed away, still people gather because it seems whatever you go and ask in that meeting you will get. वो यहाँ दौड़ते हैं. But here we say that आप जिंदगी भर करते रहो कुछ मिलेगा, कौन आएगा यहाँ? Only those who don't seek anything in this world. मान लीजिए हम सब में ऐसा नहीं है, हम ऐसे स्तर पे हम लोग चले गए हैं. वी आर अबव वर्ल्ड, वी आर इन दिस वर्ल्ड ओनली, बट एटलीस्ट वेयर इज आवर माइंड? कहाँ हम लोग पहुँचना चाहते हैं? अभी मेरा हो नहीं पा रहा है. मैं मे नॉट बी अ वेरी एडवांस्ड पर्सन एज ऑफ नाउ, बट एटलीस्ट ये मेरा स्पष्ट है मेरे जीवन में कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ पहुँचना है, क्या करना है, किस करने के लिए मैं आया हूँ. So if that is clear in your mind, then you will work very differently. Your goal will be different, your approach will be different. तुमको अलग तरीका लगेगा. All that will really, motivate you differently. So that is the difference between the other things. So क्यों नहीं आ रहे हैं? This is the reason. Only if you have really earned the merit of several previous births, then will you can come. Because कथामृत एक तरीका एक मोक्ष शास्त्र है. इट इज नॉट फॉर धर्म अर्थ काम. चतुर्वर्ग फल प्राप्ति की बात करते हैं हम लोग. हिंदू धर्म के अनुसार 4 जीवन का मुख्य उद्देश्य कहते हैं, धर्म अर्थ काम, अंत में मोक्ष. ये शास्त्र मोक्ष शास्त्र. आपका जीवन तो जन्म मरण जो संसार सागर ये पार करने का, इससे छुटकारा कैसे मिल सकता है वो दिखने का एक शास्त्र है. सो ऑब्वियसली हाउ मेनी आर कीन आर सीरियस अबाउट दैट. मैं तो अच्छा हूँ, मेरा क्या जरूरत है, जितना झगड़ा है तो दिस व्हाट पीपल डू ना इन द हाउसेस. दिन भर लड़ते हैं, शाम एक साथ जाके कहाँ खाना खा के आ गया, सब खत्म हो गया, फिर रात आके झगड़ने गिनते हैं. Not every house, but largely, family, संसार, जगत में रहना means आपका ठक्कर है, ये है, मतांतर है, there are different opinion, this, that, this way, that way. Endlessly, we are bothered about petty issues, petty matters. So, but this talks about a different kind of a life, different kind of experience. What is the goal of life? What is to be done? These are the types of things that are talked about in this. So it's a totally different approach to life. So that's what it is. So इसमें क्या है, आप देखेंगे, आप जहाँ से भी आप प्रारंभ करें. You can take any book. See, actually it was brought out in 5 volumes originally. The author is not exactly author, a person who collected all that. जिन्होंने आप संस्करण जिन्होंने निकाला है बोल सकते हैं, कंपाइलर ऑफ दिस ग्रेट टेक्स्ट. उन्होंने श्री रामकृष्ण देव के पास जाते थे नियमित रूप से. यूज्ड टू गो टू हिम वेरी रेगुलरली, और अपना जीवन के लिए छोटी छोटी से कुछ वो लिख के रखते थे. यूज्ड टू मेक वेरी स्मॉल फ्रैगमेंटरी नोट्स. नॉट दैट ही वाज अ computer expert, or there was a recording and then he used to transcribe, nothing like that. Just अपना, because he thought purely for his own. वो बीच में उसके, supposing you develop the habit of going to a great satsang or somebody, someone is a very wonderful person, then you make a small note, then later on आप उसकी उलट के देखेंगे, then you'll feel that same in spirit, because what we hear we may not often remember. अगले दिन भूल ही जाते हैं. But if you have small notes, like you can always go back, revisit, relive those memories, so that you find that kind of a different development and all that. So he did it for that purpose. But there was a great hidden purpose in that, because it was really wished by Sri Ramakrishna himself. Because one another monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna wanted to do this. उन्होंने भी लिखने के लिए प्रारंभ किया था. तारक घोषाल, लेटर ऑन हु बिकेम स्वामी शिवानंद, आपको सीधा मना किया, नो दिस नॉट फॉर यू. with somebody else. You don't do it. और लेकिन जब मास्टर से कुछ ये करते थे, श्री रामकृष्ण कुछ नहीं बोलते थे. He never used to discourage. And there is see, master used to come only on holidays. वो तो हर दिन आना संभव नहीं था. Whereas the monastics used to come, लोग का श्याम से भी खुद ही बोलते थे, आप आओ जब कोई दूसरी लोग नहीं रहेंगे, क्योंकि आपसे कुछ अलग में बताना चाहता. So for the hardcore monastics who had to become monks later, he had definitely a very special kind of instructions, very hard and tough. But Master Moshe used to come on holidays, and those holidays there will be other householder devotees. So Ramdev Sirif largely, although if you go deeper, this contains everything for everybody. But this takes you through a very long and a winding path in a way, so that you don't feel the steepness of it. आपकी संसार सागर पार होना, तैरना भी बहुत ही कठिन है. आप कोई पर्वत पे चल रहे हैं, वो चढ़ाई में बहुत ही स्टीप होने में तो गिर जाएंगे. We cannot. But supposing you, that's why in many places they make it such winding paths, so you don't feel the gradation at all, the steepness at all. ये भी ऐसे, आप जितना इसके अंदर आप गहराई से प्रवेश करेंगे, उतना ही आप अनुभव करेंगे इसके अंदर सब कुछ है. एकदम जहाँ घोर विषय की स्तर पर है उनका भी है, थोड़ा आध्यात्मिक जीवन में जिनका रुचि आया उनका भी है, जो साधक है उनका भी है, सिद्ध पुरुष उनका भी है, महापुरुष की भी है, सबके लिए भी है. सो wherever you will find, that's why it's a wonderful combination of things. So उन्होंने क्या किया, जैसे से उन्होंने बाद में, it was not, I think the first volume came something like 13-14 years or so after Sri Ramakrishna's महासमाधि. 1886 में उनका महासमाधि हुआ था. आई थिंक 1900 में बार आसपास उन्होंने पहला वॉल्यूम निकाला था. So that means was after 14 years, suddenly probably उन्होंने वही सब देखते उनका मन में कुछ आया ना, मैं फिर इसका ये करूँगा करके उन्होंने एक छोटी सी पैम्पलेट रूप में ही उन्होंने पहले निकाले थे. So the idea was that he wanted that this should, the ideas might be useful to others. तब तक क्या है, तब तक उनका तो अपना जीवन में वो भी बहुत आगे चल चुके थे. Because when he started, he was a tremendously struggling soul when he came to Sri Ramakrishna. बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम था उनका. क्या तो उनका कोई आत्महत्या करने के लिए निकाला था, उसी से तो श्री रामकृष्ण पास आए थे. So he was under tremendous stress to start with. So उस समय उन्होंने बहुत कुछ पूछे थे, कुछ समझना कोशिश किया था, साधना भी थोड़ा थोड़ा किया था, लेकिन धीरे धीरे as Sri Ramakrishna gave up his body, slowly he had become a sadhaka of a very high order. He would remain immersed in that bhava for hours together in his later life. So 13-14 साल की बाद जब उन्होंने पहला जो छोटी सी एक पैम्पलेट कुछ निकाला था, by that time he was really, he himself was a great sadhaka. Then he understood the tremendous value of these words of Sri Ramakrishna. Somehow I think probably he also felt that they will be of immense help to humanity. तो उन्होंने इसलिए लिख के पहले उन्होंने स्वामी विवेकानंद को भी भेजा था. किसी समय माँ के पास भी जाके, and he read out portions to mother. माँ बोला, अरे बिल्कुल लग रहा है श्री रामकृष्ण हिमसेल्फ बात कर रहे हैं, तुमने जो लिखा ना बिल्कुल ठीक ठीक लिखा. So mother also gave her seal of approval, and स्वामी जी ने तो बहुत तारीफ किया. So he became encouraged. Then he brought out the first volume. Then he brought out the English translation also. And slowly, for the next 30 or 32 years, it took him so much time to bring out the other 4 volumes. So it is not, if you see the original arrangement, it's not fully chronological, like one by one date. आप फर्स्ट वॉल्यूम में कुछ डेट्स, सेकेंड में आसपास डेट्स भी आ सकता है. सो इट वाज जैसे उनका लगा मन में, ऐसे उन्होंने सजाया था उसमें. इन दैट ही हैड अरेंज द होल थिंग. So like that he brought out 5. The 5th volume, the last volume का उन्होंने last day he saw the proof and then with this last. That was this glorious end of Master Moshe. So this that way, this is an extraordinary lesson wherein it can give us great insights about spiritual life, spiritual striving, etc. So naturally, it's a very wonderful text that way. So he was slowly bringing out. So you can imagine over a period of 32 plus 14, 46 years, क्या इतना याद रखना संभव है? आज हम लोग सुनते हैं, काल भूल जाते हैं. After 46 years to bring out what he had heard, so he had paid so much attention. बहुत ध्यान करते थे. क्या बोला, क्या मैंने लिखा. तब तक उन्होंने इतना उनका जीवन रामकृष्णमय हो गया था. So would only contemplate about Sri Ramakrishna, think deeply again and again. He had no other pursuit in life. कुछ भी उनका दूसरा नहीं था जीवन में, सिर्फ वही लेके रहना, वही लेके रहना. Again and again, be only in that ambience, only in that thing. That is how he led his life completely. And then, it went on and on and on and on like that. So, naturally, because of that, slowly, Sri Ramakrishna also had paid so much attention to the training of this particular person. Because, see, when the advent of a great Mahapurusha happens, someone who is going to kind of change the landscape of the world itself, someone who is to bring about a social revolution, so to say. Today it's a kind of a social revolution, the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, because they belong to a class of their own. Because there are people who want something, they are not satisfied with मेरा कुछ चीज मिलने पे संतुष्ट होने वाला नहीं है. The real devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, they want something deeply spiritual. So naturally, this movement, actually, we are too near. It's only hardly 100 years old, 100, 150 years old, 140 years old. You will see slowly as years go by, will also gain momentum as a huge, colossal movement. So naturally, there has to be a beautiful chronicler somewhere, so that just said no. In each avatara, you will find that a great text that is a motivating factor. Just take Ramayana, various Ramayanas which extol the great life of Ramachandra, or the Bhagavata and other Puranas which extol the life of Sri Krishna. In the case of even Chaitanya, Charitamrita and others. So this is something like, just as Bible has so much influenced the Christian world. So the words of a man of God, a person of extraordinary spiritual realization, taken down and repeated so beautifully. So that has a tremendous value for spiritual seekers. That is why this text is so important and so appealing. So that's why I said the beauty is because it is not arranged date wise. आप ओरिजिनल कथामृत लेंगे तो जहाँ से भी आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपका ऐसे अच्छा कुछ मिल ही जाएगा. So when I just opened any page. I was just like that because we don't do it very regularly. So I am not also keeping track like that. Suddenly you opened a page. Yeah, they are Shippur Bhaktakan, O Amoktari Bakalma, Sri Madhu Doctor. So Shippur, Kolkata के आसपास एक जगह है. From there, a group of devotees had come, and I think there's a discussion about giving power of attorney and so on. What is that? শিবপুর হইতে ভক্তরা আসিলেন, তারা এত দূর হইতে কষ্ট করিয়া আসিয়াছেন, ঠাকুর শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ তার আর চুপ করিয়া থাকতে পারলেন না, আর সার গুটিগত কথা তাহাদিকে বলতে. So this they have actually it's in Calcutta, those days, now it is different. Although you have साधन है, अभी टाइम ज़्यादा लगता है क्योंकि इतना हो गया, ट्रैफिक में सब फंस जाते हैं. उस समय साधन कम था, इसलिए समय लगता था. बस भी इतना नहीं था, आपका घड़े गाड़ी में चलना पड़ता था. सो जैसे समय लगता था. So he says they have come from such a long distance, so they should not feel any difficulty or disappointed something. So he wanted to give them something so that they can remember. So then he's saying, so God alone is real and everything else is false. Ishvari Shatto or Shab Anitto. So uh, God is the only reality. Everything else is unreal or impermanent. And this is, of course, directly from the scriptures. Various scriptures talk of it in various languages. He has used his own language. Then he said, बाबू और बागान ईश्वर पर तार ऐश्वर्य लोके बागानी देखे बाबू के चाय खोजन. Suppose there's a beautiful garden. People are busy seeing the garden. How many really remember who is the Malik? Who is the person who has created this? Who is the owner? How many really think of that? Oh, so this पेड़ अच्छा है, ये फूल अच्छा है, ये फल अच्छा है. We are busy seeing the garden, but we hardly remember the owner or the person who has really created it. Similarly, he says, Ishwar Arthar Aishwarya, God and His creation. People are busy admiring the world. This is beautiful, that is beautiful, this is precious, that is this thing. But they hardly remember the Creator who is responsible for all that. Then the devotee is asking, what is a way then? Acha upay ki. What is a way? Then he says, Sad Asat Vichar. Discriminate between the real and the unreal. Tinishatto Ashap Anitto. It is Sarvada Vichar. Vyakul Hoye Dak. So, these kind of questions come up again and again in this Kathamrita. It is repeated several times. Several people ask, Master Moshe himself again and again asks, because in this whole text his name is completely hidden. It is not given as so and all that. So, he says, most important is to do this discrimination between what is real and what is unreal. Sad, Asat, Vichar. Actually, in our ancient tradition, that's why the study of Shastras, etc., were not permitted for everybody. People thought they deserved to casteism, and they said no. They said that Shastra, the study of Shastra, did not mean just going through the language of the text. No. If you come to study Shastras, you will realize the goal of Shastras. That was important. That was what it was. So, if that be the case, then they would say that how many can come? Supposing someone comes to read Upanishad, goal of Upanishad is Brahmagyan. Are you prepared for that? Then who is ready? Not a person who is very good in Sanskrit or a person who can read fluently. No. The first condition they used to impose is Sat Asat Vichar. What is Sat? What is Asat? Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. What is Nitya? What is Anitya? In fact, for all sadhakas, for all spiritual aspirants, everywhere, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, belief, this one discipline, if we can practice sincerely, our life will be extraordinary. Because ultimately, it boils down to this. If you understand this, if you understand what is real and what is unreal, what is permanent and what is temporary, your whole life's problem is solved. You don't have to do anything beyond that. You have to only do that. Because the moment you clearly understand what is unreal or impermanent, you will not go behind it. If you don't go behind it, you are already on the path of liberation. What else you want? Why people suffer? What is the reason for our sufferings? So we constantly go after that which is unreal and impermanent. How many of us seek the real, the eternal, the permanent? So even if you analyze our life and our behavior, हम जो करते हैं दिन भर सुबह से रात तक 99.99% of our time is spent on anitya only. आप सुबह से बोलो क्या नित्य आपका सुबह उठ के चाय पीना वो क्या नित्य है? आज है तो काल नहीं रहेगा. You brush your teeth, you go to washroom, you take bath, You sit, you change clothes, you put on new clothes, you have breakfast. All, everything is coming under Anitya only. Whole day. And fighting somebody, agreeing with somebody, disagreeing with somebody, this money, this property, this asset, this investment, this job, this transfer, this promotion, this more, everything A to Z completely in the domain of Anitya. So what will happen if you really do that vichara? What will happen? Will you run away one day? No. You may, whatever you may do, you may do. But if the knowledge is very clear, you will not be bothered. You understand that this job, there's nothing to be really craving about it or giving great about it. Then you won't be worried. You won't lose sleep if you don't get promotion. You don't lose sleep even if you lose the job, because you know something else will come. Something else will come. There's a great person. There's a, today, he's noted as one of the great motivational speakers or something. So he was once, participating in a cycle race. So when he was in a particular bend in the high speed, from behind a big truck came and hit him, and several spokes got kind of embedded in his spinal cord or so. They lifted him to the hospital, and the doctor said that you will never ever walk in your life, and we have to do a most complicated surgery, Reddington surgery or something, I don't remember the name. And they said you will never be able to, anyway, you will never be able to walk. Then, that very day he decided, no, I'm not going to be here. The God who created this body, if I have to walk, he will cure it. Simply he walked out. Within 1 month, he was walking. And within 2 months, he was back at the gym. So that doesn't mean, medical, nobody should undergo treatment or medical sciences. No, medical science are all correct. But no, there are so many laws that govern this life, this planet, everything. So once you understand that we should not run after that which is anitya, the whole dynamics of your life changes. You become a different person altogether. Because you know that, yes, all these are all necessary. Money, property, husband, wife, children, everything is okay. But I should not be madly attached to them. I should not be terribly bound by all that. There are some people, even to take one step, they have to ask their husband or wife or something. Otherwise, they can't do this. No, no, what is this? You're so bound. No, 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 you go your own way. I'll go. I have some program. You go. So, absolutely that kind of total dependence of one person on the other. And all these things are all only signs of, we are completely investing our life in something which is impermanent. So, is it possible to do something which is. So, this one idea, this Sat Asat Vichar, although it's just put like that so simply, between the Anitya and the Nitya, is one discipline will completely organize your life. It's not only just spiritual life. To live a meaningful life, you should understand this. What is this discrimination between the real and the unreal? So every day, if you spend, say, some 15, 20 minutes, the whole day you are busy with so many things. At night, before you go to bed, yes, I sit for 15 minutes and think what all I did from morning till now, till I am about to retire, and go to sleep. What did I do? You'll be amazed how we have completely wasted the whole day in meaningless and useless pursuits. So if you do it day after day, slowly you will develop that maturity. No, I should reduce. I should reduce my engagements in all this. Then instead of that, you substitute that time with something more enduring, more lasting. You would start reading the Upanishad, you would start reading the Bhagavad Gita, you would start doing japa, you would start doing meditation, because these have got nothing to do with the temporal world. Whether you meditate or not, your bank balance is not going to increase. So, then you know differently, life can be spent differently. There are more enduring pursuits, enduring ideas, all that is possible. Then you understand life in a totally different dimension. That qualitatively improves your life. And slowly, because of that, you develop a kind of mindset where you are able to accept everything with lot more equanimity, lot more calmness. Why people suffer? Something happens, they are not able to accept it. That what's the cause of suffering? What's the cause of pain? What's the cause of dukkha? Something has happened. That is impacting us so much. I am terribly affected. I am terribly sorrowful, terribly angry, terribly this, terribly that. Why? Something happened in the external world. We think that that relates to me. I have to be completely, totally affected by that. So if you don't know, doesn't matter. Whoever is born is going to die someday or other. This very moment, I myself might die. Why should I be overtly bothered by something that has happened? That person's time was up, that person has gone. I will also go at any time. So rather get on with life, whatever is to be done. Yes, somebody came, somebody participated, they were part of our life or with some relation or whatever it is. That game is over. Bus, finished. Now the next scene that's going to unfold. That kind of, see, even a person like Shakespeare. Shakespeare is not a great spiritual giant or anything. He says somewhere, I think in one of his very important places. See, the world is a stage. We are all actors in the drama. Very beautifully put about life. It's just that. It's just a stage. We're all there. Otherwise, how much we are bothered. Oh, why this? Oh, so and so said this. Somebody said, I can't forget it. So many years over. I can't forget. The other person is happy, moving upward. You can't forget it. You are suffering. The person who said it cost you the heart. That person is moving about happily. He or she is not bothered. He are bothered. So if you understand what is Nitya and what is Anitya, the whole character, the whole fiber of our life would get changed and we can lead a more wonderful life. The first Ramkrishna says, maybe we can take it up some other time. He says, the whole thing is to do this Sat Asat Vichar, the discrimination between what is real and is an Tini Satto or sharp and God alone is real, and then everything else is unreal. And there are so many schools. One of the Bhakti schools, they give so much importance to the idea of God, the permanent entity, in God alone is real, and to seek Him. He says to call Him with tremendous longing. Vyakulohe takidaka. So if life that becomes your priority, seeking something permanent, then you find out what are the methods, whether it's this school or that school, what interests you, what is according to your temperament, your nature, etc. Then you organize your life accordingly. So that party is just started. I think there are a lot more in that, but we'll stop here. But this is the idea that if you can really take it like that, the most important part is what is really important in life. As otherwise, most of us, just lead a life in a sense of complete forgetfulness. Something is happening. People have lived for 60 years, 70 years. I often ask, what have you done in 70 years? Recall. Every day you get up, every day you have tea, every day you have breakfast, every day lunch, every day dinner. 70 years gone. What is it? What have you achieved in your life? Yes, I went, I earned money, I had few cars, few bungalows. All that will go. One tsunami can wipe out everything. Not only tomorrow, if you die, everything is going to go. Are you going to carry all that with you? Somebody else is going to use it. What is the purpose? What have you achieved really in that sense? It's all there. So many people are making money. So many people are having cars. What is great about it? Then, if you sit up and understand what is life, then you will think, no, there are other things to be done in life. How to understand life, how to understand what's beyond life, what's death, what's living meaningfully here. Then only there will be stability, there will be peace, there will be lasting peace and contentment and all that, real happiness in life. Otherwise, if your happiness is only linked to cars and houses and facilities and money and all that, that's absolutely meaningless. But we see people who have nothing, they're also extremely happy. People who have so much, they're also unhappy. We see every kind of behavior in this world, you know. It is not directly a measure or proportion of what you have or you don't have. Because if it is a measure of what you have, then how is it people who have very little are also so happy? And how is it people who have so much in abundance, they are also extremely happy? So obviously it is not linked to what you are having or not happy. There is some other dimension to life, some other yardstick, some other way of measuring life whereby you can achieve all that. All that would set you thinking. At least you try to understand, no, let me at least sit and think. What is this all about? What is really life? What is its meaning? What can be done? How have I spent it? Then your life starts improving qualitatively, and that is actually the real beginning of what is called spiritual life. A life which is beyond this sense world, beyond this matter where we are already and kind of irrevocably tied to. This is the first time you are trying to untie that knot to material world or the world of possessions and goods and things and so on. Huh? Om Shanti 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 Om Tatsat Shri Ramakrishna Namaste.